Hi friends, welcome back to Galilei's HEPGEC program. We all know how the story of the race between the rabbit and the tortoise ends. In the end, the tortoise won. It was his consistent effort which changed the fate in his favor. Remember this when you prepare yourself for preliminary exam of UPSC. Be consistent, be persistent in your revision, revise daily. Let's start today's revision with a question from history. Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri Fatehpur Sikri is the famous hall of the famous emperor of Mughals, Akbar. He held religious discussions with different scholars coming from different faiths at this place on every Thursday. So the appropriate answer to this question is C, the hall in which Akbar held discussions with scholars of various religions. Now, a question from economy. The economic growth is usually coupled with we need an ideal situation where you have inflation, but inflation is not too much. We need that Goldilocks point. We need that middle ground. You don't want hyperinflation where inflation is very large and the economy can't keep up. So D can't be your answer. You don't want deflation where the inflation is in a negative zone, and you don't want stagflation where there is a stagnation of growth but there is consistent persistent inflation. So we know what we don't want, and what we want is medium moderate inflation. So the answer to this question is B. Economic growth is usually coupled with inflation. Now a question from polity. The ideal of welfare state in the Indian constitution is enshrined in the non-enforceable part of our constitution, the directive principle of state policy. It morally compels the government in power to take action to provide for the citizens to ensure that a welfare state is established. So the answer to this question is again B, directive principle of state policies. Now a question from geography. Which one of the following rivers does not originate in India? Bias, Chenab and Ravi, all these three rivers originate in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Satluj, on the other hand, which is the longest running Indus river, originates in the Tibetan valley, and it enters India through the state of Himachal Pradesh. So, which does not originate in India? The answer is D, Satluj. Now, the last question from environment. The most important strategy for the conservation of biodiversity together with traditional human life is the establishment of which of the following? There is only one program where conservation of nature and conservation of human activity is held together. That is the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere program, MAB program. It considers the human beings to be an integral part of the nature. It does not seeks to separate the two, unlike the other options given here. National Park, which is enacted under Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, strictly separate human activity from natural wild activity. So the answer to this question is A, Biosphere. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.